Welcome back to Ask Beck and Liz, where no topic is off limits. We want to answer your questions about business, life, and everything in between. So, Elizabeth, one of the questions we got this week was around the elements of grit, and more specifically, what we think are strengths are in grit. What is the element that you or I possess around grit?
That's a hard question, and I think in a Women in the Know segment, we addressed self-awareness and being able to identify those strengths and weaknesses. I think I would say my top two are passion and purpose, which makes sense since that's the name of our show. I think we both have a strong passion and purpose. For passion and purpose. And I think maybe my second one is courage and initiative. I tend to have moments where I think sometimes I'm feeling like hopelessness, like it's never going to get better, but it's always a fleeting moment. I think overall, I always believe I can make things better. I always believe I can make change. I always believe it, whether it's true or not. And I think one of the reasons I'm able to do that is because I believe in incremental change, not sweeping. And so I think by focusing on that, I've been able to be more courageous in different things that I've advocated for, or, tried to build. What about you?
Well, I want to actually acknowledge you about what you said, because I totally agree. You come from a place of purpose. You come from a place of passion, and you're very courageous because you take stands where others would step back. So you are fearless as an advocate, even in areas that can be explosive in some situations. So you're incredibly courageous, and you, I think, are doing it from purpose and passion, and you are endlessly optimistic. Now, for me, my strongest, let me think. That's a good question. I am probably the most tenacious person I know. It's stubbornly so. I mean, I don't care how many times I get knocked down. My purpose drives me so much that I am just endlessly committed. I don't care how many hours it takes. I don't care how many potholes there are. I don't care what slings and arrows come at me. I am stubbornly committed. So I think that's, and of course, purpose and passion driven. I think my weakest area is the achievement drive, because the commitment comes from making a difference, contributing, empowering, impacting. It doesn't come from what achievement drive typically is, which is numbers on the board, right? So that could be dollars, or it could be sales, or it could be conversions, or whatever it is. I think my one weak area is sometimes I forget that it goes back to what our purpose is at where purpose and passion collide. It's about purpose, passion, profit, and community. And so I think sometimes that achievement drive I could get a little bit better at, where I'm like, I could be a gazillionaire by now, right?
It's so hard to keep them all straight, but I do think tenacity is, I would have picked that for you also, because knowing you and getting to know you these last few months, I've discovered that you have had some hits like we all have in life and business, and you keep going like the Energizer Bunny. And I don't think everybody does that. I think that's a unique quality. And I think that the more you do that, the more you can do it. It's a cycle that snowballs in a good way. And sometimes people let that cycle of bad snowballing go so far that it's hard to push it back up the mountain. But when you don't let yourself get all the way down, it's easier to keep getting back up.
Yeah, which comes back to what you said, having that optimism and knowing there's a higher purpose behind it, that you're going to get back up.
Well, you do. And I think that that's where courage comes from too, is when you believe so strongly in your passion and your purpose. my family has stood up for a few things that have been at great personal cost. We've lost friends, we've lost our church, we've lost different social groups that we were in. And that's hard and it's painful and it does take some recovery time. But I think when you believe in it strongly enough and you're optimistic enough that something good will come of it, that you're able to change. But I also, how big of a part do you think community plays in helping lift all of these elements of grit up in a person?
Yeah, and I think this is so important, and why what we're doing is going to have such a huge impact, in my opinion, Elizabeth, because we don't always have courage on our own. We're going to do things because others challenge us to do it. We're going to go a little bit further. When others believe in us and shine a light of optimism on our dreams and our aspirations, we're going to step it up. Working in isolation, especially as women, we are not meant to build businesses, live alone. We're not meant to do that in isolation. So I think community adds to the passion, to the purpose, to our tenacity, to our commitment, to our ability to be courageous and adaptable when we know other like-minded people are in that same boat right along with us, going after similar goals. So yeah, it's a big deal.
I do too. And I think as women, I think we tend to seek it out, the community. I've had a couple of different accountability partners over the last few years of my life, and they're people we're not working in the same field necessarily or on the same kinds of projects. But once a month, we'll check in and say, what did you get done on your list of things to do? What do you need help with? What questions, what stumped you? Can I help you figure something out? Or it's that person you can call where no question is too dumb. You're not going to be judged for forgetting how to work something or forgetting a principle.
Right.
Like, I know I'm supposed to do this thing, but I can't think of it. I mean, I have a friend that we call each other fairly regularly about that. And we're like, she's like, I know this is a stupid question. I'm like, there's no stupid question, remember? But having those people that you trust and you can be completely yourself with, yet still say, hey, you forgot to do this, or you've got to do, get back on it, or, don't get discouraged, or whatever it is. I think we do tend to seek that out. And hopefully that's something that we can provide for people going forward.
Yeah, amen. And I think it's to your point, it goes deeper than just an accountability partner. It's about the relationship, that someone you can trust, someone you can open up with, someone you can be vulnerable with. So it really does require skills around relationship, that it's an intimate relationship that says, I care that you get what you want and that you are fulfilled and that you are able to exercise and express who you are meant to be in this world. To have another person or several other people truly caring about you is a gift. It's a gift that we all need to be fulfilled and to be successful.
Completely agree. Once again, we've solved all the world's problems.
You know what? It's amazing. It's amazing what we can do in 10 minutes.
I know.
We are so good. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today, where passion and purpose collide, profits are made, and relationships are forged. This is Beck and Liz signing off and wishing you another purpose-filled and profitable week.